What's up YouTube? Fuel Up 727 back at you guys with another video. I know you're loving the dew. So nice, long, and messy. But anyway, back to the video today. So I already did what I was gonna do for this video just because it was time consuming and I already tried videoing it and it really got messed up. So I'm gonna redo the video. So we're gonna do a good old rustoleum paint job on the Camaro. Now, for many clips of the car on Instagram at fuelup727 and on YouTube of this car with the build and, you know, getting the hood and everything else, the car was just mismatched. So it is a, here I'll just show you guys. It is a 1990 RS, and that's the paint job I was talking about. But pretend for a moment that this was a darker shade red, that was like a maroon red, and this was pink. So as you can tell, I already painted it. Looks real nice. Colors match up really well, and I'll get into that as I go along in this video. So I was like, okay, I tried painting the bumper. It was originally white because it was in an accident when I bought the car, and so I replaced the bumper. It was white. So I got paint off of the internet. It was color matched to the car, which is a bright red from GM. It's like WA184, something like that, which is bright red GM color. So I bought the paint match quart off of the internet and spray painted the car. It was a single stage paint, so it had the gloss mixed in with it, and it came out a little darker when I first sprayed it. I was like, okay, maybe once it cures, it's gonna, you know, turn into bright red. Me not knowing much about paint or professional painting it, because we used the actual spray gun, but it ended up being like a maroon. So I've left that alone for almost half a year now. I got spray paint match cans from AutoZone, did the fender, and it turned out to be like, it was bright red, but after, you know, clear coating it and, you know, sanding it, making sure the orange peel wasn't there, and then buffing it and waxing it, it ended up being a darker shade of bright red. And I got tired of how the car looked. Like, this car is almost where I want it to be to actually look decent out in public and on the road, because I don't want to be that person, you know. Sure, it's a race car. Sure, it doesn't have to look nice, but to me, I'd rather have it look decent and be one color. I never had a freaking project car that was one color. Now I can. So back to the story. The paints just didn't match up to what the rest of the car was. So I was strolling through AutoZone trying to find parts, and I found this can. It's a Rust-Oleum acrylic enamel. And then I found another can which was pretty much the same thing, except it was a Rust-Oleum gloss sunset red. So I tested them out on these headers, and if you don't know what those are off of, they're off of the car before we went to EFI. So tested it, you know, seeing which color matched up better. Then I actually ended up painting part of the panel on the fender because it was the closest part to the actual paint job of the car, and found out the sunset red was the best match. So sprayed the fender. It looked good. It was the test panel. Looked really good, really matches to the car. And I'll show you right here. So, yeah, it might be like a shade, like barely a shade off, but it totally matches. Now the reason why this side is more glossier than this, so the Rust-Oleum is a gloss paint. So it does have some reflective to it, but it probably needs a clear coat of the Rust-Oleum stuff to make it shine like this. But I mean, for now, I'm just trying to get it look all the same color. So that'll eventually happen, but not right now. Plus the weather isn't really the greatest. It's been raining off and on here, and other stuff's been happening in my life to where prevented me to getting to the car and making a video for you guys sooner. But finally out here, it's like 50s out here. Just got done raining yesterday. So this is the sunset red. Now what I'm going to do with this can, because it's a gloss cherry and everything's already painted, I'm going to show you how I went about painting each panel. So we're going to play a little pretend game right now. So, and we're going to paint this this frame. So you shake the can for a little bit, and luckily whenever I was painting the car it was a little warmer, so it really helped with mixing the paint and actually laying it down. So this is just to show you guys though what the process of it was. So make sure my hand's out of the way of the camera. So come along, staying really, like, not too far back, probably about almost a foot, and just lay a light coat. And you can see where it's like blotchy, where you still see the brown. I call this the tack layer. So you let that get tacked or tacky, so sticky, to where it's dry but it's still got a little stick to it. You let that happen. So you wait, like, depending on the paint you buy, it's all different, but for, I think, these cans you can wait about like 5-10 minutes. Gets a little tacky, and then once that's like that, you go back over it. If the wind was freaking blowing, but if the wind wasn't blowing, it actually stay on it. So you get a little closer, go back and forth, up, side to side, and you want to go pretty quick paced, so you're not getting any runs. Like right now, we're getting no runs, and we're covering those blotchy areas of where the brown was showing through. So once you get your whole panel, so this is the whole panel. Once you get that whole panel pretty much with the, I call that the first coat, because it's the actual first coat of paint that you're trying to actually cover everything. So wait like 10-15 minutes and then make another pass. And you can go a little slower to try and get more of a fill of everything. And so now, if you can't tell between there, that's just a tack layer. This is the second coat on the panel. So pretty much, I did that 3 times for the fender, the bumper, and the hood. So it wasn't too bad. The problem for the hood was at this cowl, and I was fighting wind. So every time I went to spray, it would like either shoot off or come towards me. So I was barely laying any paint, but it really came out pretty nice. I don't have any runs. The only run I do have is right here, which you can tell because it's all wrinkly. But that was just my first test panel, and yeah, but it turned out good. It's definitely now like a 10 or 20 footer car, and what I mean by that is that it looks good about 10-20 feet away, but when you get close, it's not as good as what you thought. But yeah, so it definitely makes the car look better. Pretty much, that's how you paint your car with Rust-Oleum paint. Now, depending on you and the vehicle you're painting, you could actually buy a handheld spray can of the gloss from Rust-Oleum to put over the cars. Do like 2-3 layers of that. Just make sure you tape everything off. But for now, the car is just going to be like this, no gloss. So, as you can tell, I'm also in the process of putting that front lip back on. That's probably going to be on before next week when I go to the races. So, just slow process. Ooh, I also want to show you guys something. So, yeah, that's the gist of painting the car with Rust-Oleum paint. It's not hard. It actually comes out pretty good. You could get away with a little bit more with no technique, basically, with the Rust-Oleum. Just make sure you don't get any runs. But that's how you paint your car with Rust-Oleum paint. Now, what I want to show you guys, what I got for the car. Pretty sick. So, as you all know, I've never had an actual race car. Never really. I only just rode on street tires. But, dun dun dun, we got full slicks. Like no tread, not DOT approved, slicks. And they still have some life left in them. They are MT, don't know if you can see that, 26, 8 wide, 15 rim. So they're the same size as the tires that are already on the car, but oh, I'm so excited to put these on. They're gonna be freaking awesome. But yeah, for now, that's it. That's all I have for the car. I will make another couple more videos if I can before the races of prepping and getting the tires on and other stuff that I have to do to make sure the car is able to get on a trailer and go out to race. So, like, subscribe if you like the video, and if you want to see more stuff, comment below.